Hello everyone and welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix, I'm your host for this evening and your caster and also the organizer of the tournament. And today there's no one joining me, so it's just going to be me, but it's going to be a little bit of a shorter day. And I've already lost my voice. Talk about that. Yeah, it's just going to be me, so I decided to make it a shorter one. I'll do another cast tomorrow to finish off week 2 even. I know week 4 just got played, but it's fine. We're all good. Everything will all fall into place as we move towards the playoffs, so there'll be less of a break this time. Whereas there was like a few week break in between the round and the playoffs. Hopefully, I've avoided that this time by going on holiday. So, you know what? It's all good. But we're going to be moving on to a pretty cool matchup today. Should be a lot of fun to see how these players do. Now, there was one walkover in the series, but I'll talk about that as we get to it. And it's been a very, very warm Monday afternoon in the UK, and it's now a very warm Monday evening. And as you can see, my cat has decided she has had enough. She is bored of my voice already, so she is moving, and she'll probably jump back on the bed, and you'll see her jump up there shortly, I would imagine. Oh no, she's getting food, it's all good. Either way, let's actually have a quick look at the table so far, just so if you haven't been keeping up with the STPL, you can have a look for yourself just to see how all the teams are doing. Okay, so as you can see, at the top of the ranking table we do have White Clan, NAS, 9th Team and Soul Gaming in the top 4 positions. Now, a few of those people haven't actually played for a while, but thank you very much for the host creative. So Soul Gaming's next game is actually in week 3. They played against IRK. That's going to be one of our first games of week 3 that I'm going to cast. 9th Team played against Ash in week 2, but I'm missing the Ace match from there, so they still haven't played that. I've been a little bit lenient, so I'll cast that game a little bit later. It's going to be a bit strange to go back, but it should be fine. And Net Wars, DM, Red, Ash, Media, BuLL, IRK, Clan Revolution and Psystorm are going to be making up the bottom 8 of the table so far. Now that is all to play for. There are 7 weeks overall per group stage. Group stage 1 ended in a very interesting way. I should really set up a table so we can have a look at that, but I thought it'd be a bit too confusing. Either way, White Clan did win round 1. They're currently in a very good position in round 2, and they're going to want to take this to the next level if they can. Now let's actually have a quick look at who we're going to be seeing today. Okay, so for the second time in the STPL, they did join in round 2. We're going to be seeing BuLL, BuLL Team for, well, BuLL for short. It's BuLL Team StarCraft Remastered. They have one of the coolest logos out of any of the teams in the STPL. You can see they put a lot of effort into that. They did lose their first game, but they were up against fairly tough opponents there. And so far you can see the Terrans, 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 loss for their Zerg Protoss. So it's kind of surprising. BuLL are actually a foreign team with more than 1 Terran, so kind of exciting to see how they're going to do. And now on the other side of the table here in Group B, we're going to see the return of a Red Clan. Now they've got a really, really long name that I can never pronounce, so they're going to be red for me. And in the last round they did a fairly good job. They actually went 3 for 3. Although I'm fairly certain there must be a loss or a win missing there, because they did play 7 games. No, they didn't. There's 7 weeks, you play 6 games. That's me being silly. It's going to be slightly different in round 2, just because there was 2 teams that dropped out at the very, very last minute. Wait, was it 2 or was it 1? It was IM, so I think it was just the 1. But either way, they did a very good job last round. And this round, they look to be doing even better because they don't only have the players they had before, they also have a Korean pro in their midst in Cadenza. So obviously Cadenza moved out, one of my fellow co-casters, one of my fellow British Brood War players moved out to Korea very recently to join Africa TV as a partnered BJ. And she's doing pretty well out there, being coached by Effort, Rain, and Brittany, which is kind of insane. I played against her ZBT the other day, and it's so damn good. Like, I have no idea how I'm ever going to beat her again. But if I do, I'll get ultimate street cred, so it's all good. And let's have a quick look at what maps we're going to be seeing in this matchup and who is going to be playing on them. So let's have a look here. For set 1, we do have Return of the King, a cool 4-player map. Set 2 is Flight Dreamliner. Set 3 is Troy. Set 4, Triathlon. And if we make it to that ace match in set 5, we will see new Sniper Ridge. Now, just to quickly have a little bit of an overview who is going to be playing today. For BuLL, we have dAiO, Reyna, Dark, and FlyMio. And their opponents in red are going to be KuH, Red, Blue, Green, Cryok, and Fisheye. So, lots of good players here, especially Cryok, one to look out for in this TVZ in Troy. I know that FlyMio did a pretty good job last time, so should be interesting to see his TVP against Fisheye as well. And KuH has been a fairly consistent performer, so him versus dAiO in this ZVZ should be pretty good, and that's going to be our first game. So without any further ado, let's introduce the players. Okay, so I may have just said it's a little bit of a spoiler, but we do have fighting for BuLL. It's going to be dAiO. Now, dAiO is their captain, so dAiO a very important linchpin of the STPL team here. He hasn't played so far in the STPL, but I'm looking forward to seeing him in this game. I'm not too sure how he's going to do. And he is going to be up against one of Red's strongest players from the last round. So KuH is a little bit of a ZVZ sniper as well. As you can see from his versus opponent race stats, he actually went 3 for 0 in ZVZs in the first round. And he did play 5 games for his team, so he did an incredible job. One of the linchpins of the red roster, and it'll be cool to see how he's going to perform as he moves into his first game of round 2 here against dAiO. Now, a strong opponent for him, but it's going to be really, really cool to see this. Just to see how everything's going to go. And their arena of battle is going to be on Return of the King. Now, Return of the King, a 2008 map, did make its debut in the 2008 Incra OSL I believe that was actually mid-2008, I can't remember entirely. But that was the tournament that got me into Brood War and the reason why I'm here now. So I did throw one of the maps in just for good measure. And according to Creative, KuH hates CVZ, but he's pretty damn good at it. But some of the defining map features: 3 easily taken gas bases, high ground middle, as well as a higher ground middle as well, kind of like Blue Storm, but an interesting map layout. Lots of different paths you can take. Very constrained though, not very open. Lots of small chokes, lots of small tight corridors. That's not really going to come into it too much in this ZVZ though. And I would be surprised if we see a third base, but you know what, I always like to mention it, it's always fun to say, and it should be cool to see how this is going to go. Also, there's like this weird mineral-only base in your main, but it is on an island, so whether or not we'll see early drops to take that, I would highly doubt it. But it's the STPL, it's ZVZ, and you never have any clue what's going to happen, so let's not waste any more time. Let's head on over to the game, and let's get started with our first game of today. It's the STPL Round 2, Week 2, Day 3, Red versus BuLL, Game 1. And starting us off here in Game 1 is going to be in the top left-hand position, fighting for Red. It's gonna be KuH. Now his opponent, starting in the top right-hand side, is going to be fighting for BuLL. In the yellow, it's gonna be dAiO. And it looks like they're having a little bit of chatter at the beginning of the game, just to see exactly what's going to be going on. Looks like they were looking for FlyMio, maybe they were waiting for him to see his opponent. Now, I did forget to mention what the walkover was, so I guess we'll find out on that a little bit later. But game 1 was in fact played, and this is exactly what we're seeing here. Now, dAiO has scouted in the correct direction with his Overlord, which will be a little bit of an advantage to him moving into this ZVZ in the early game. Now, what builds are both of these players going to go for? This is a very, very strong map for early aggression, just because it's very, very difficult to actually take the natural. But then again, that's just ZVZ in general. Looks like KuH is going to be going up to at least 12 drones before he goes for either a hatchery or a spawning pool. I would imagine it's going to be a hatchery though at this point, just because he is waiting so long. Oh no, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be an in-base 12 hatch from KuH. Now his opponent looks like he's going to be going for possibly a 12 hatch of his own, but is he going to be building it in the main? Yes, he is. 12 hatch from both players inside their mains. In fact, that was a 13 hatch. So a little bit later for dAiO, so his lava production going to be a little bit later, but he of course will have the scouting advantage, which he's about to get here, and that will allow KuH to know exactly where his opponent is. You can see him taking his Overlord away from that corner. And he will of course have the defender's advantage if it does turn out that KuH wants to push in. So dAiO adding his spawning pool, adding his gas, completely mirror builds here. I think KuH's build is slightly further ahead in a few different things. Yeah, his spawning pool's about 100 health ahead, and his gas finished just a little bit quicker as well. So KuH, by getting that 12 hatchery rather than the 13, did allow himself the extra time to get those buildings quicker, start getting his gas a little bit quicker, and of course the quicker you do things in Brood War, the more efficient you are, the more of an advantage you will receive. Now, how are both of these players going to play this out? Are they going to go for a Ling all-in? Or are they going to try and expand from here? We have an instant lair coming up from dAiO, so his lair is actually going to be a little bit further ahead. But in the meantime, KuH is getting his Ling speed a lot quicker than his opponent. And Ling speed is absolutely everything in CVC. Now, of course, dAiO will have seen these Lings leaving his base, so he'll know he has to block the ramp. But with his speed only starting up, slowly but surely, KuH is going to get an incredible position here at the bottom of the ramp. And it looks like dAiO isn't really spreading his Lings properly at the top of the ramp yet. Finally, we do notice him doing that, but look how many Lings that KuH is pumping out here. This should actually be another couple of Lings here. Now, he's actually switched back into drones. That's going to allow him to go up to his own lair, take a little bit of an economic advantage if he can. This could actually be just a move to force more and more Lings out of dAiO, but of course he does need to be careful as well. You can never be too sure exactly what's going on. Now, interestingly, KuH has decided to show all of his Lings. He wants to put a little bit of extra pressure on, and there we see the extra Lings coming out for dAiO, whereas KuH is droning up back at home, and that is going to give him an incredible advantage as we move into this mid-game. But first, he's going to have to be able to stop dAiO from moving down his ramp, because he will have trouble with a counterattack. Now, is Ling speed finished? Yes, it is. Ling speed for his opponent is finished as well. And Spire is on the way. That's going to be a lot quicker for dAiO. You can see it's almost 200 health, and here we go. Here is the Ling Bust. Does KuH have enough Lings to actually defend against this? It looks like he's moved out of the way, and this could be a serious, serious problem. KuH is sending some units back to defend his ramp, and he's going in for the counter. Looks like dAiO had misrallied a couple of drones, but does KuH have enough to hold on to his ramp? This is a huge moment. A lot of the drones of dAiO going down in his main base, but the ramp of KuH is going down as well. It looks like this could be a base race, and who is going to come out on top of that? It looks like it might be dAiO, but dAiO's lost a lot of his drones. Looks like poor KuH is trying to get the Sunken up, but it's not going to be finished in time, and there's just more Lings. The Sunken is finished. Is this damage going to be enough to hold on? It looks like a lot of Zerglings are going down. Muta is on the way though, but is dAiO going to be able to build another building before all his units die? And KuH is trying to pull back, he's trying to hold on, and I can't help but feel this is a mistake. How is he going to hold on? He's built more Lings at his main. He's trying to stop the drones from getting in. But one gets there. He's going to take his opponent's gas. And this is going to be a very hair-raising situation. But the trouble is, back at home, dAiO has a Mutalisk. There is no anti-air capability coming out of KuH. KuH does not have enough Lings here. But does he have enough? Can he get this last drone? Can he get the Lings? It looks like he can. We've got a great bit of control there by KuH. Is going to possibly give him the victory. But with one muta, these Lings will eventually die. But will he kill them before everything explodes? Is there a single drone on the map for either player? It doesn't look like it, so this is going to be the one muta against all of these Lings. And we could actually see dAiO win with a single Mutalisk. Because KuH is unable to build a drone, he's unable to mine. And he's unable to shoot up. What is he going to do? It looks like the Mutalisk is there, but is it going to be enough to save all of his buildings? He's going to have to micro back against this with everything he has. Because if he loses these Lings, it's game over. It's 5 supply to 3. And there's a lot of health on dAiO's buildings. He's not actually microing the Mutalisk though. It's almost like he's half AFK. Here we go. This is going to be the problem. It looks like this could be enough. It looks like KuH is trying to pull those units away so he can attack the buildings. And oh my god, this is such a ridiculous game so far. There's still a lot of Lings here for KuH though, but this one Mutalisk is just going to be enough to hold on. Now the one problem that dAiO is going to have is these Lings will regenerate health. We could be here for a long time. And I mean, here we go. It looks like looks like both of them are very confused. I'm not surprised. Very hard to play from this kind of situation. And here we go. The Lings are going back in. They're going to snipe the first hatchery. Are they going to run away? He's pulling away the Hurtling. What an incredible maneuver. And there we go. It looks like KuH moving back in onto the lair, pulling away single Lings as they come close to critical damage. Look at that micro. And it looks like this one Mutalisk is not going to be enough. It could save his buildings for now. It looks like a little bit of a misclick by KuH is going to lose him nearly one of his Zerglings. That KuH can carry this on for a very long time. You can see the Lings regen their health very quickly. I don't think this is going to be enough, but somehow dAiO has got another 2 Lings from somewhere. Where on earth did they come from? I completely missed those. Yeah, but it looks like KuH is a little bit confused. He thinks he can win. Oh, that's a bit of a miss micro. Saying lol, cost him his 2 Lings there. That was a bit of a bait and switch. But how exactly is this going to play out? Is KuH going to kill the buildings? The trouble is dAiO can't leave his base or the Lings will kill his buildings. So it's impossible for him to kill anything. And it's all up to KuH and his micro to see if he can do it. Looks like one of the Lings has gone down. Oh, this is going to be so unbelievably close. The lair very close to dying as well. Now, when the Lings are back regenerating, the issue is the buildings are regenerating as well. They do regenerate incredibly slowly. Oh, but it looks like KuH needs to be careful. He can't be complacent. He may think he has this in the bag, but nothing is won for certain until it's over. And this one Muteless champion, as dAiO did pronounce it earlier, still holding on with everything it has. The Overlord's coming in as well, possibly looking to soak up some of that damage. And the funny thing is, KuH doesn't know that dAiO doesn't have any other buildings. Like, could you imagine if dAiO had, say, an extractor down here that he didn't scout? That would just be ridiculous. Now, interestingly, both of them gonna be in a little bit of a stalemate situation right now. It's 31 minerals to 34, 4 supply to 2. And KuH's Lings are just about ready to go back in, but he still needs to be very careful. He still can't afford to lose anything here. Now, I almost feel like, as someone was saying, he was on 84 minerals before. Oh, the Mutalisk was on hold position. That could be enough to actually kill the lair, and it looks like the Ling's going to be pulled away at the last second again. The lair is down, but there are still 2 buildings remain. I almost feel like dAiO should just chase these Lings around and micro them down. I think dAiO if he does go in, could actually have this, but KuH is pulling his units very, very far back. And dAiO does not want to leave his buildings. He knows that KuH is sending his lings all over the place. But KuH really needs to do something. He needs to sneak one ling in just to kill these buildings, or he is going to be in a world of hurt. Now dAiO is moving around, searching around for these lings, but little does he know that the lings are still on the prowl. There's only 7 lings remaining now, and that one Mutalisk still trying to hold on to his base. Yeah, this is just... Okay, you know I said before, like, it's the STPL, it's a ZVZ, anything can happen? Well, this is what we've got, guys. We have a half-dead base over here, which dAiO can't kill, and we have KuH running lings around against one Mutalisk. Like, what I think KuH needs to do is spread out his lings into a couple of groups, go in with one, pull out with them, wait for the Mutalisk to chase and go back in. But this is such a tense situation, I don't know how you could possibly begin to know how to play in this situation. Now, I want to keep an eye on the ling's health. They are actually fully healed. I think he should go in. Just because he does know now there's only 2 buildings. Now, unlike in StarCraft 2, the creep around buildings does not dissipate when you kill the hatchery and the creep tumors. I know there's no creep tumors here. Oh, but KuH needs to be careful. He can't afford to lose these lings. Spread them out a little bit more, just so he doesn't lose any. And it looks like he's pulling a lot away to try and get away with this. The spawning pool does survive, and some of the lings get away a little bit scathed, but they will be going back sometime soon. And thank you very much, Vincent, for the host. Anyone joining me from the Brood War Clan League on Vincent's stream. This is IRK versus... Sorry, it's Red versus BuLL. We are 12 minutes into a ZVZ. No one has had a drone for about 5 minutes. It's 7 lings against 2 buildings and 1 Mutalisk. And dAiO has got 1 Mutalisk against 3 buildings in these 7 lings. So it looks like dAiO is almost ready to hand in the towel. He's having a lot of trouble here. But he's still trying to hold on. Looks like the lings are going to sneak in. Of course, the Overlord will see this, but I think this is going to be enough. I almost feel like he can sacrifice the 7 lings now just to kill these buildings. But it's such a tense situation. Neither player wants to lose. This is the first game of the week for the STPL, and buildings do take a long time to die. So here we go, the Mutalisk pulling away all of the lings, or KuH pulling away all the lings again, and the Mutalisk being sent back to try and apprehend them. Now he's doing his best, but he just can't catch up with the lings. The damage lings getting too far away. And I mean, dAiO is microing his little heart out with this Mutalisk, but it's not really going to be enough, I don't think. And you know what, it's really hard to actually call this. Thank you very much for the follow. Red T45 does mean a lot. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far, and it's a bit of a weird game to join on. But certainly one of the many games we've had in the STPL that hasn't been super standard, and you know what, I like that. This is the sort of moment though, if I had a co-caster, Rapid must be asleep. But if Rapid was here, we could like joke about things. But both players sit idle, as I said. This is Red's first game in the STPL for round 2. It's BuLL's second game. This is week 2. Obviously, BuLL versus Red. We've had a lot of good series so far in the round of 2, or the second round of the STPL. This round will be 7 weeks long, as the first one was, and then we will have the playoffs. And then that will lead on to round 3. But here we go. It looks like the lings have had enough. KuH is going in for the kill. He does need to be careful to pull away some of these lings just to make sure. But he is going for the extractor. GG! And KuH takes out dAiO's last building for the elimination. Although dAiO did leave before that happened. So good game. Crazy game as well. That was actually one of the most insane base races I've ever seen. And I mean, if dAiO hadn't built that 1 Mutalisk, he would have died a long, long time ago. So, can't say anything bad about that game. That was absolutely sick, and I'm very happy we got to see that. It was 15 minutes or so. 10 minutes, I think neither of them had any drones. So, really funny how that happened. But let's load up the next replay. Let's set up the overlay for the next replay as well. And I'll be back after this introduction. See you guys very shortly. What I want.